Hello, my dear friends. Hello, my beautiful women. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jane. I'm a life coach, a women's coach. In this channel, I speak a lot about self-development, understanding the self, how you can activate your feminine energy and start attracting all of the desired dreams into your life by becoming a magnet to your desires. Today I decided to continue the topic of feminine energy, and I feel like this topic is the most desirable by my audience. I have something very deep and profound to share with you today, as I'm going through my own transformation always, and the prior purpose of this channel was for me just to share my own insights of the journey I'm going through and apply the coaching tips and tools that I learned while I was studying and in my practice, in order to help you transform yourself, transform your life, your feminine energy. All my life I had this issue of survival mode where I was constantly being afraid of the future and trying to control every situation, every outcome in my life due to this fear of the future. Survival mode usually occurs when a woman doesn't feel foundation, doesn't feel the ground within her. A few years ago, I started studying this topic deeper and deeper because I just wanted to understand why it is so hard for me to relax in the present moment and allow myself to just be, to trust life, to trust the future. When I started diving deeper into this topic, I found out so many interesting insights, realization, transformational tools that changed me and helped me heal that survival mode and finally start living calmly in the present moment, trusting the present moment, trusting life, also finding that foundation within me through which I always feel safety and stability in my life. And again, as I said earlier, this survival mode comes to me once in a while when I just face new chapters in my life. For example, now I moved to Dubai and this feeling of survival mode came for a little bit again, as everything is uncertain and I need to sort so many things, like where am I gonna live, how am I gonna get documents to stay here for a long time, and things like that. So basically, again, I started feeling that survival mode, which made me reflect on it even more this time and evaluate deeper why this fear of the future occurs, why this anxious state comes back. What I found was truly profound, and that is why I want to share it with you today, because maybe you will find yourself in my story. And I really want to help all my women who are watching this channel to heal their survival mode, as when the survival mode is healed, this is when your feminine energy can finally arise and be activated. When the woman lives in a constant fear, in this constant anxiety, it is impossible for the feminine within her to come out and really flow and really create and really enjoy this beautiful life, the present moment. Therefore, when the woman is in her survival mode, her feminine side sort of hides within her because she doesn't feel safety, stability and security to come out and just enjoy. The biggest transformation and realization has happened to me once I realized that in order for me to heal that survival mode, I need to look at my masculine side. One of the biggest reasons why I always had this survival mode was that my masculine side was not healed. And I was constantly trying to dim it, trying to ignore it, as I thought that as a woman, I need to only care about my feminine energy, to nourish it. But the main realization was when I realized that I am unable to activate my feminine energy without the masculine within me. As this masculine side creates that structure, that safety and stability for a feminine to come out. Because I always had this masculine, unhealed and broken within me, it was always preventing me from achieving my goals, from creating good relationships with my own money. And also I was attracting wounded masculine into my life. Men who also had wounded masculine within them. And they were also struggling with their sense of stability and security. We always attract what we are. We attract our mirrors. Those men were always reflecting me back my own wounded masculine, my own unhealed masculine side. So when I started diving deeper into that and trying to explore the reason what has happened to my own masculine side within me, because we have both energies, as I say. We have our feminine and we have the masculine as we come from our mom and dad. I finally found out the reason, and this reason actually came to me like a few months ago, and I was just trying to ground this information for some time. So that is why only now I'm able to film this video and share this insight with you. The reason why my masculine was broken was because when I was a little girl, I was 5 years old when my parents divorced, and my dad left and he started living in his own place. So he left the household where we were all living together. He never left me and my sister. He continued staying in our lives, and he was really like doing so much to give us all of that safety and stability. And I'm super grateful for that. I know that he always loved us. And I always, as a little girl, wanted to actually move to him and live with him after the divorce, because I was finding more connection with my dad rather than my mom. But because I was a little child, I couldn't choose. And of course, my mom wanted me to stay with her. Because my parents divorced and I was just observing the behavior of my mom when they divorced, and I don't know 100% the reason why it happened, but my mom felt so hurt by this divorce, and she was experiencing so many painful emotions and feelings back then towards my dad, like the feeling of resentment, I suppose, the feeling of fear, because prior to that my dad was giving all of the safety and stability to the family, and then when he left, my mom had to take care of us, although my dad was helping, but still. So as a child, because my mom was my main caregiver, and for every child, the parent is the most important person in the world, Once I was seeing how my mom is struggling, how she is hurt, how she probably hates my dad, she feels resentment towards him. Me as a child, I subconsciously took her pain and decided that from now on, I will basically not accept my dad because he hurt my mom. That's what I thought, because I was a child and I was only seeing how my mom is hurt and she's in pain. So I made the conclusion that men are not reliable. I cannot trust men. All men leave. And therefore, I started denying that masculine side within me, which was apart from my dad. And I was keeping that resentment towards him all my life. And I couldn't understand why. Because he stayed in my life, he stayed in the life of my sister. He did his best to create a beautiful life for us. But for some reason, I was constantly feeling that anger towards him, that resentment. And only through the therapy, I was able to find out that subconsciously I just took that pain of my mom and started denying the masculine within me, the masculine energy, because I was denying my father. And I took this subconscious belief that my father is a bad person because he left my mom. And I cannot trust men. So as a result of that, actually I'm sharing this with all of you, and this is very vulnerable information. But I think many people can find their truth in this insight. After that, I was always living without that sense of stability and security within me, because I was simply not accepting the energy coming from my dad's side. He is very successful, strong, good, kind man who possesses an amazing character traits. While I was speaking with my therapist, she explained to me that I simply have these problems with finding that safety and stability within me because I still hold the resentment towards my dad, and therefore I do not accept his gifts, that masculine energy within me. This was a powerful realization, and I had to work on it internally. I had to do some practices to kind of allow myself to accept his strength, to accept his power within me, as I am his daughter and I am part of him, part of his lineage. By forgiving him, by accepting that part of me is his part, it's not only my mom, I started accepting my masculine energy. And it is very important for a woman to have both, as I said, because when there is no masculine, when the masculine is wounded or for some reason it doesn't exist and woman only lives in her feminine, it is impossible for the feminine to be healthy, because there will be constantly the fear of the future, the fear of the survival, as there is no structure. And the structure can only be created by the masculine side, by the masculine energy. Now I'm just going to share with you a few tools of how I was healing that survival mode and what helped me in my journey. First of all, it was the fact that I had to realized that resentment that I hold towards my dad is not mine, and this is the feelings and emotions of my mom that subconsciously I took from her when I was 5 years old and when I was seeing her in pain. And through that realization, I was able to sort of let go of that resentment and forgive my dad. I was able to heal my masculine side, start creating that structure and stability in my life by creating goals for myself, by making some action steps which were super hard for me before, by creating some sort of discipline in my life. You need to start creating a structure in your life. You need to invite discipline into your life. You need to start making actions that you promised to yourself, and therefore cultivate a trust with your inner masculine. For example, if you got a certain idea and you had this thought in your mind that I want to do it, in order to prove that you can trust yourself and strengthen that masculine side within you, you need to go and do that thing, to make that action that came to your mind. Therefore, you will be strengthening that masculine side within you that is capable for making action, that is capable for achieving goals, taking responsibility. When you start exercising that muscle of making action steps, creating goals, creating at least some structure in your life, maybe a plan for the week, what are you gonna do? Or better, plan for months, a year. This creates some sort of safety and stability within you, because you know that there is some sort of a structure in your life and you can trust your masculine side. So here your feminine can finally came out from the cave because she feels safe and she is able to flow, to create, to enjoy, to be in the present moment, as long as there is some structure in your life. As women, we all want to meet the divine masculine man who would provide that structure for us. But from my own experience, I realized that until I heal my own masculine within me and shifted from the wounded to the healed, then it would be hard for me to meet the man that I desire, that healed divine masculine, because my own masculine is broken. And we always get a reflection of ourselves in the external reality. Healing that masculine within me, forgiving my dad, accepting that I am partially my dad and I have that masculine side within me and I don't need to deny it or ignore it because I only want to be in my feminine energy. Because my feminine energy cannot thrive without this masculine side. The other powerful tool that helped me to really heal that survival mode was to become aware that most of the time when I'm in my survival mode, I live in the future. I live in my thoughts, in my head. I create some illusionary fears of what didn't happen yet. And the key to healing that is to release the control and come back to the present moment. Start trusting life. Start trusting God. Start trusting that you will be safe and protected. No matter what, you're always safe and protected. Once I started creating that trust with life, by creating that connection with God, I can call it like that, I was able to realize that there is some sort of higher power, and it will always protect me no matter where I am. Through that connection, through that belief that I cultivated within me, that I am always safe and protected, that the right people will always come to my life and help. The external forces will guide me, will support me on my path. And I shouldn't be afraid of the future, but shift my focus into the present moment, where there is no fear, where there is no anxiety. And from this place, when you stop living in the future, when you stop experiencing this anxiety all the time, and you come back to the present moment, you have a chance to truly create your reality and act, and maybe create that structure for yourself, because you are at peace, because you are calm and you are trusting. Trusting woman is one of the qualities, in my opinion, of the healed divine feminine. When the woman is able to trust life, trust God, trust herself, and she cultivates that trust by doing things that she promised to herself. Each time she's doing things that she promised to herself, she cultivates that trust more and more. And when she has a strong trust with herself, she's also able to trust masculine energy and trust men and receive support and receive help from men. And this is the healed version of feminine woman, when she is very calm, when she lives in the present moment, when she trusts what is happening in her life happens for her highest good, and she has that inner belief that she is always safe and protected by God. Also, this woman has a healed masculine within her. She is able to have that foundation within her, that feeling of safety and stability, knowing that no matter what will be happening in her life, she would be able to take care of herself because she has that foundation within her. This may happen when she heals her masculine side, when she forgives her father, the main man in her life who gave her life. And also by forgiving, by making peace in your relationships with your father, you're also able to heal your relationships with all the men around you and start attracting divine masculine energy into your life. I can say for sure that once I healed my masculine, once I started healing that survival mode, and my sense of trust to the world, to men around me, and to myself, my feminine upgraded. My feminine was finally allowed to come out and start enjoying the present moment and start enjoying life and being calm and feeling safe as she holds this feeling of trust. And this feeling of trust gives her a sense of safety and stability. So she can flow, she can bloom like a flower, feel safe. I hope that through this video I was able to really transfer you the message. This idea, this concept may sound a little bit complicated and deep, but I'm sharing it from my own personal experience, and this is what helped me to heal my feminine energy. I'm gonna finish my video here. I have 4 more points to share with you, deep, profound realizations that helped me evoke my feminine energy, which we will discuss further in next videos. If you found some truth in this video and this video finally gave you that insight and realization that you were searching for, like this video, leave a comment. Stay tuned because there will be many more interesting videos from me to you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.